the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with my esteemed colleagues, Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll see the Washington Wizards playing against the Grizzlies in Memphis. Not a lot to complain about for this Memphis group right now. It's been a very successful first half of the season for them. When the opportunity to win a ball game has been there for them, they have grabbed it over and over. And guys, the fans always enjoy hearing stories from your playing days. Let's talk teammates. Shaq, who were your favorite guys to play with over the years?
You know, everyone loves the Shaq, and Shaq has 4 rings, but I'm saying it here.
They all love
real
the Shaq.
life. Yeah, everybody loves Shaq.
Okay.
I'm sexy, handsome, and qualified. That's what Shaq stands
I think my question was, who were your favorite teammates?
Let me finish, Ernie. Let me finish. I'm quick to say, hey, I got 4 rings, but I could
You
not,
are quick to say that.
Could not do without Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw was a guy that always looked for me, similar with when how Kenny played with the team. He came down, made sure I got my shots off first. Derek Fisher, we all remember the .04 shot. Rick Fox was a hustler to go out and play. Big Shot Bob.
Oh, wow.
Saved
One of
me
my
so
favorites,
many
too.
times.
So he's won both of our favorites.
Big Shot Bob saved me so many times. I would probably only have one without Big Shot Bob. And Nick Van Exel, even though me and Nick didn't win together, we had a great time.
Well, obviously, he said Big Shot. Hakeem, Sam Cassell, Robert Horry, Vernon Maxwell. But one of my favorite of all time, Chucky Brown.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite teammate is Chucky Brown of all time.
You didn't say Otis Thorpe?
No, but Otis was cool.
Oh, my
but
God.
But Chucky Brown was my favorite teammate of all time, man.
Guess who I would say my favorite teammates are?
Who?
Who's that? It's us? Oh, Ernie.
Really?
I thought you were going to say
Thanks,
another guy
Ernie.
who wasn't here.
I'm getting choked up a little bit. Thanks for joining us.
Need some tissue.
And it's the Wizards on the road for this one with an interconference game today. Well, what better way to spend a Monday night than with the 2K Sports team and the NBA? Welcome, everyone. With Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Grizzlies will look to their home court advantage. Just one game here in Memphis. They're one of the most dangerous teams in the NBA right now. No question, they've won 7 of their last 8.
And when you look at Memphis, they've started the season with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They had a lot of people with doubt heading into the season. And I tell you what, they are out to prove those folks wrong.
And they're doing it, Greg. I know it's still early, but they've already shown they can compete with the best teams in the league.
And so off the tip, it's Washington's ball. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. So on the floor for Washington, Nene and Gortat team up in the paint. The great pair of Wall and Beal are at the guard spots, and it's Dudley in at the 3 slot.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, Bradley Beal, a devastating long-range shooter. Effortless and smooth, textbook mechanics. When he gets in the rhythm from behind the arc, lights out, baby, lights out.
And here are the Wizards now. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Memphis this season.
Yeah, and they got the better of this matchup both times they faced off last season. Do they still have their number?
Well, the sample size wasn't that big. I mean, 2 games, not a lot to go on. But they are 2 teams at the top of the pile in each of their conferences. And because of that, I expect it to be competitive.
Gortat with the steal. And here we go. Washington fast break. Offensive rebound. Marcus Gasol picks up the foul. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Gasol with the steal.
Just waiting for a chance to make a play, and when the pass was made, he's all over it. Just a fantastic steal.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
Yeah, the confidence just exuding in that performance on the offensive end. I mean, really illustrates how this team clicks when guys are communicating and executing as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, roadkill is hard to get in this league. I mean, to be a great NBA team, you've got to be able to have that kind of performance on the road. Focused, purposeful, and productive. Really solid.
Now here's Randolph. A 17-point game for him in the win against Miami.
Yeah, and he also did a great job on the backboards, Kev, and that also was a factor. I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
Beal against Lee. Conley dishes to Lee. Back to Conley. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it.
That's a shot he shouldn't be afraid to take more often.
The Wizards have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Well, Memphis loves the grit and grind mentality of this Grizzlies team. We all know that. They are at their most fearsome, I think, right here in the Grindhouse.
No doubt about it. Some names just stick, and everyone here knows when you say Grindhouse, you're talking about the FedEx Forum. Memphis so strong in this building.
Now here's Gasol. He's coming off a 13-point game against Miami.
Boy, was he physical. I mean, in that game, just drawing a lot of contact and getting himself to the line over and over.
Well, I tell you, last year, guys, the Grizzlies lived up to the nickname of the Grindhouse. Top 5 defense here at home, and a lot of close wins that could have gone either way, but they grinded them out.
One shot.
And so he hits the technical free throw.
And those close wins and that blue-collar attitude is really what helped Memphis get to a 31-10 record here at home. I mean, good for second-best home record in that very tough Western Conference.
Now here's Lee. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. 5 to shoot from 15 feet away, and another basket for Memphis. And Washington has possession. It's a 3-point game. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
And on an ordinary night, guys, I think they would have come out on top. That's just how well they played, but they happened to catch an opposing team at the very top of their game.
I'd venture to guess, Greg, that if that game was played in their building instead of on the road, they win it.
Wizards trail by 3. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
I got to find something. You're right. Outside, Wall. A 3-ball. Wall missing again. Grizzlies have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
Now about 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Randolph kicks to Lee. Here's the 3. Rebounded by Dudley.
And guys, Courtney Lee, now having completed 7 full seasons, very much the same guy now as he was entering the league. A 3-and-D prototype who will most likely never be a plus playmaker.
Randolph can't hit.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
Pass to Beal. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. Wall's got 3 assists tonight.
And I tell you what, anytime you get those easy ones, that basket starts to get bigger.
Talking about Courtney Lee, you know the ball handling and court vision are suspect, but you don't care because he's provided solid defense on the wing, Clark, and he's hit over 40% of his threes last year.
And he's also one of the best free throw shooting 2 guards in the league, Kevin. And last year he and Conley were out of sight at the end of games. That's a wonderful combo to have, 2 great free throw shooting guards. Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
Feeds it to Gortat. There's a good screen. Here's Nene. Again, the Wizards score.
Great shot. Had to fade back, but he still managed to drain it.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. And for Jared Dudley, a bit of a resurgence last season. Found a team he liked playing for, played much closer to his career numbers than the year before with the Clippers.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I mean, he turned back the clock in almost every category, and I think to your point, a lot of it has to do with the fit. He's on a team in a role that suits his talent, and I think you're going to see him continue to be consistent.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. White, who's checked in for Randall. Barnes comes in for Jeff Green. Tony Allen's checked in for Lee. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. For the Wizards, Nene comes in for Gortat. And Sessions subbed in for John Wall.
And, you know, going back to Jared Dudley, he helps you in so many different ways. Shoots a lot of threes, yet does so efficiently. He rebounds, he passes the ball. He'll get a little physical, too. He's a valuable vet to have in your locker room.
For Memphis, they've gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. Stolen by Nene. 1:06 left to play in the first. And Sessions kicks to Nene. And that is good. Nene's got 8.
And you know what Jared Dudley's nickname was in college? The Junkyard Dog. I mean, for his toughness and that nose he has for the ball. 2 attributes that have served him greatly here at the next level.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one-hand tomahawk slam?
Here's Udrich. It's Allen on the wing. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Here's Barnes. Sessions with the rebound. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. To the inside from 12 feet out. The shot by Nene. No good.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
Kicks to Udrich. Puts up a 3. Washington with the rebound. Sessions can't get it to go. At the end of 1, a closely contested game so far. Memphis out in front, leading by just 2. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And an exciting end backcourt in Washington with John Wall and Bradley Beal. Wall said that Beal is known for his appetite.
When we go out to eat, he gets like 2 meals. You know, like some people eat 1 meal and the second meal you get to go home. He really finishes 2 meals at one time, and it'd be like, there's no way you about to eat that. So he likes to eat a lot, and he does a great job finishing it.
You think John Wall's hungry for a championship in D.C.?
Yeah, I would certainly think. Well, not really. I've seen that dude eat exactly the way John described it. It is an unbelievable sight to behold. You literally cannot comprehend how anybody could scarf up that much food and still hoop.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And for Memphis, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Really, it's always a positive when you can get some impact off your bench.
Always nice to have firepower coming from the reserves, and they've had firepower and then some so far.
Conley and Allen in the backcourt. Green is out there with Carter, and it's Randolph in at the 5 down low. That's the group for Memphis to kick off the second quarter. Now here's Wall. 20 points for him last game against Dallas. And that one's good.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending it.
Beal, the pass to Wall. He kicks it to Dudley. And that comes off the assist by John Wall. And the Wizards lead by 2.
And last year, the Wizards at times played excellent team basketball. I mean, it seems like every time a shot went in, it was coming off a pass to find the open man.
The Wizards have gone 2 or 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. The dish to Beal. Lets it go from the wing. Here's Gortat, and he uses both hands to jam it in.
And what a gutty play. I mean, muscles his way to the rebound and then just pounds it home for the putback.
Well said, G.A. The battle on the boards, Clark, could go a long way toward deciding this game.
You know, and if that play is any indication, that's a battle they're willing to put every ounce of their energy into winning.
Randolph. And again, Memphis no good. And Greg, the Wizards were top 10 in the league in assists, as you were just talking about last season. They were third, Clark, in the league in their assist-to-made field goal ratio, though.
Beyond those eye-popping stats, the Wizards passed the eye test. I mean, it seemed like most of their buckets came off nice passes.
5 to shoot. Wall, that's a two-pointer. The shot, no good. And Memphis the other way now. When this game is done, they'll be off to Chicago as they take on the Bulls. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. And that one's good by Gortat. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Wizards.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
Timeout called the Grizzlies. And for Marcin Gortat, he was such a good fit for the Wizards last season. Actually, the last 2 seasons.
You know, he runs the floor very well for his size. A terrific finisher, solid in the pick and roll, can make the mid-range. You know, he's been one of the more consistent centers in our league.
Now here is Carter. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change, and the shot is good.
Wow, I'm surprised he took that shot, but he has a huge size disadvantage in that matchup. But tremendous job to knock that one down.
Beal against Lee. Jumper off the screen. Beal can't get it to go.
You know, getting back to Gortat, he signed that 5-year, $60 million contract a couple of years back. Raised some eyebrows at the time because he's not a supreme athlete. But his size, effort, and refined skill set have made him worth it so far.
Here's Beal, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there, just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them.
And talking about Gortat, I like what he can do for you defensively. Doesn't really have a vertical, but uses his length and timing to alter shots. And he moves his feet well enough to close out on shooters and also cover the pick and roll. So solid and complete in terms of a frontline player.
Nene, he's checked in for Washington. Gary Neal comes in for John Wall. And the thing about Bradley Beal, when he suits up, the entire lineup becomes exponentially more potent. A quick, powerful athlete, Greg, high basketball IQ. You know, had the great teaching at Florida, carries it to the NBA. Opponents have to account for him, I think, on both ends of the floor.
And that's a great point, Kevin. I mean, coming out of college, a lot of people compared him to Ray Allen. I mean, he possesses that next level smoothness and body control. Oh, wow.
Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented, for plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that long.
Yeah, he did.
I tell you what, though, great dunk, and this is even a better game we got going on right now.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. And here's Neal outside. The rebound by Jeff Green. Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Outside, Randolph. Dishes to Carter. Now, here's Green. D right on him. Can't hit from in close. For Washington, they've gone 4 of 10 in the second quarter from the field. And again, Washington, no good.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
Randolph can't hit.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Nene kicks to Neal. off the left rim and out.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
A nice shot by Carter.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Gortat with a screen on Carter. There's 38 seconds left here in the second. Beal can't get it to go.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter. He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points.
$19 seconds left in the first half. Here's Carter. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. Carter's got 8 points here in this quarter. Beal against Carter. Beal dishes to Nene. Here's Lee outside. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. It's the Grizzlies as they wrap up the second quarter with a 13-4 run. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, guys, I'm here with Bradley Beal. And Bradley, we've heard Coach stress the importance of rebounding. Is that going to have to be a team effort in the second half for all 5 players on the court?
Yeah, all five guys. But I think we're too worried about getting out in transition. So I think 1 through 5, including the guards, we all got to get in there and rebound.
The guards must contribute on the glass, no doubt. Bradley, thank you. Guys?
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. For the Grizzlies, the first quarter was pretty even. The biggest lead of the quarter was only 3 points as they traded baskets back and forth. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. Kenny, what'd you think about the Grizzlies?
They were clearly a better shooting team. Their play calling and execution were on point. It wasn't a dominant performance, but you did get an idea of how efficient they can be. They'll need to continue that kind of shooting if they want to pull away in the second half.
And over to Shaq, your take on the Wizards.
Their shooting rhythm was off, under 40%. Some of that was shot selection. Some of it was the defense stepping up. My guess is we'll see some significant changes as things get going in the second half. Increasing off-the-ball activity, making the extra pass, and trying to get better looks.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
All right, fans, let's get up, let's get.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Vince Carter really making a difference here.
The way he was able to attack the rim in that first half, defenders are going to need to start building walls and being connected defensively if they want to have any chance to stop it.
Now, come on, Greg. That's much easier said than done when he's the penetrator. I mean, his speed and agility make him extremely tough to cover.
Here's Conley. And on the floor for Randy Whitman as we get into the second half. The great pair of Wall and Beal are at the guard spots. Nene and Gortat team up in the paint, and it's Dudley in at the small forward.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Zach Randolph getting up there in his mid-30s, but his game has never been based on explosiveness. So it's all about strength, skill, and craft when you talk about Zebo, and he's aging gracefully.
The first one falls. And Randolph Clark can struggle in matchups against quicker power forwards of those spread fours.
Yeah, but even though he struggles on the perimeter against those guys, he punishes them when he gets him inside in his operating area at the offensive end. Most big men have a hard time dealing with him in the paint.
Very good point. Conley kicks to Lee. Nene against Randolph. Some solid defense there by Nene. Here's Dudley. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Dudley's got his second basket. Memphis leading. Conley kicks to Lee. Gasol attacking. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
And the shot's good from Nene.
They have got to put a body on him, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass. Well, I tell you what, Nene is a man among boys down low. Remarkable physical power. He's also got a tough mentality about him, just a real rugged individual.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. And getting back to Nene, an obvious inside player with great impact. He looks and plays like a man possessed. Yet through last season, Greg, he's never averaged as much as 8 rebounds a game.
And, you know, his true value is measured in intangibles at times, not just on the stat sheet. He does all the dirty work so others can shine.
And the Grizzlies making a change here. White's checked in. Lee passes to Gasol. Nene pulls it in. Nene's got 4 rebounds now tonight. All with it. He's picked up by Lee. And Wall kicks to Humphries. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Humphries has got his first bucket of the night.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Three-pointer. And it's Michael Conley with a 3. And the Grizzlies lead by 2.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Here's Nene. Misses off the right iron.
The defense needs to play tight on him, and that's exactly what they did to force that miss. Well done.
Lee kicks to Conley. Right outside. Lee outside. And again, it's Memphis with the 3.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Here's Humphries and the powerful one-handed slam.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
And he better stay with those basics, because this game is still yet to be determined. And he is the ultimate when it comes to being a floor leader on the offensive end.
Yeah, you know, he's got a little bit of Greg Anthony in him, and he has been that leader today. I think he's done a really nice job of moving the ball and distributing it the way it needs to be done.
Well, Clark, I'm glad you referenced specifically why you thought he had a little Greg Anthony. I thought you were talking about knees, my man. he looked a little hobbled out there for a moment.
And guys, one thing that was obvious to me, last year the Wizards really matured as a team. I mean, they played as if they expected to win instead of a group kind of coming into their own. I thought they just showed a lot more composure and maturity on the court.
Clark, Brandon Wright was moving all over the league last year, all over the map, traded twice, once from Dallas to Boston, then again sent to Phoenix where he finished up the season.
Kevin, he was only with Boston for 8 games after the trade. He seemed to find a better home when he was with Phoenix.
And the Grizzlies with some changes. Matt Barnes is checked in for Green. Allen comes in for Courtney Lee. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. Then for the Wizards, Porter's checked in for Nene. Gary Neal comes in for Bradley Beal. And Sessions subbed in for John Wall. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Here is Dudley at the top of the key. Neal to the middle. And Gasol sends it back. Barnes against Dudley. Barnes dishes to Allen. Here's Gasol. Lays it up and banks it in. And now an 8-point Memphis lead.
And for Wright, being traded twice, he's one of those players that is so efficient, but in small doses. So really the ultimate bitch guy to come in and give you minutes in the post.
Lets it go from 11. Again, Memphis.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Here's Neal, and he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. 5 to shoot. Here's Sessions. That doesn't go in either for Sessions.
You know, I think that will ultimately be Wright's role going forward, a great bench option. Despite all the trades, last year he was still extremely efficient as a scorer.
Here's Neal. It's rebounded by Memphis. Gasol's got his 5th rebound in this one. Wright, left side. Pass to Gasol. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
That's good. He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
The Grizzlies making the switch here. Randolph has checked in. And a change for the Wizards. Gortat's checked in for Jared Dudley. The Grizzlies shooting their 3rd free throw shot of the game.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
One of the things they've done, guys, is taken pride in their free throw shooting this season, and rightfully so.
Here's Gortat. Randolph grabs the board.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum. And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Here's Neal. No good again that time. Outside Randolph. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Grizzlies lead by 13. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And we're rolling here again with the 4th quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Wizards trail by 13. Green is the 3 with Zebo at the 4. A lot of defense with Conley and Lee in the backcourt. And it's Gasol and at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the lineup out there for the Grizzlies. Beal's shot is good.
Great pass. John Wall is really good at finding the open man.
Conley kicks to Lee. Inside, here's Gasol. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here.
First team foul.
And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Grizzlies.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
Yeah, but don't forget about their points in the paint, because those have been big.
Outside, Wall. Nene, the screen. And Wall kicks to Beal. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
That's his first personal foul.
What a performance from Beal here. 13 points. 4 of his points have come at the foul line. He's made the most of those opportunities.
And you can't undervalue the importance of that. Many times a game comes down to which team wins the free throw battle.
One bit of news for the Grizzlies last year is that they acquired a single affiliation deal with a Clark, a D-League team, which you think is going to help them.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that team is the Iowa Energy. They're a sole partner now with the Iowa Energy. Good move by the team in what is becoming a growing trend in the NBA.
And for Memphis and the D-League, they made the most of it. Set 3 players for a total of 14 assignments with the Energy. And that's how you make the most of an affiliate.
You know, considering the Grizzlies and their D-League partnership, it really makes sense for the franchise. Memphis has always been a place where they grow their own talent. A lot of good players have come out of Memphis. Not a lot of big names signed in free agency by the Grizzlies.
And so Gasol nails them both. Wizards trail by 13. Wall passes to Beal. Nene setting the pick for Wall. Off the pick. Top loose off the pick and hammers it home.
And that's some inspiration. Steals, blocks, and a big dunk. Those are ways that you can really change the momentum in a game.
Well, they got to chip away, Clark, at that deficit, and no doubt that'll help.
And that's what he's out there for, guys. I mean, he is an electrifying player, no doubt.
How's that for a quick possession?
Yeah, no hesitation at all, taking that one to the basket. Beautifully done.
Conley with it. He's picked up by Wall. And Gasol, here we go. Gortat with the defensive effort.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Wall's shot is off.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
From 11 feet away, and again, Memphis no good. Wizards trail by 9. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Count that one. Wall's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Looked like he was channeling Bob Cousy right there. Since when does he take guys off the dribble like that?
Shot, high post. Green missing again. The Wizards have gone an outstanding 4 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter so far. And Beal kicks to Wall. And Gasol sends it back. To the inside, Conley. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
Washington calls timeout.
And the Grizzlies, guys, a powerful post-play team. Mike Conley, though, is still the straw that stirs the drink. I mean, he may be the most underrated point guard in our league. His quickness and ability to penetrate the lane brings a great balance to their offense.
Vince Carter, who's checked in for the Grizzlies. Grizzlies on defense. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Wall dishes to Nene. Beal, that's for 2. Kept alive by Washington. Second chance shot. The shot by Nene. No good. Memphis leading by 9. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Hi, Kevin. Randy Whitman was just going over the plan with his team. He told Nene that he wants their offense to run through him. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. So Coach waiting until the final stages to pull a few tricks out of his sleeve. Kevin, let's see if he's made a wise decision.
And thank you, Doris. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Wall attacking. Gortat with a screen on Lee. Beal can't get it to go. Grizzlies shooting 57% in this fourth quarter. Outside Randolph. Conley's shot is off. Wizards trail by 13. Outside Wall. Wall missing again.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Lee passes to Gasol. No good. Wall with some nice D.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And the thing, Greg, about Marcin Gortat, he's not a high flyer. He's not a super flexible athlete. But he's one of the best centers in the league because he's tough. And he's worked hard on developing his skills. And he always hustles.
Yeah, and he fights for position down low. A terrific screener. Does a lot of that dirty work. And he's also very good at passing the basketball. You know, a lot more skilled, particularly in the pick and roll, than maybe people give him credit for. He can hurt a defense in a surprising number of ways.
Both free throws good from Gortat.
Talking about Gortat, he was a late second-round draft choice in 2005. His first 4 years in the league, highly underwhelming. Now, over the last 4 years, he's averaged around 13 points, 9 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks per game. Those are good numbers.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're up by 11. 1:39 left in the fourth.
And getting back to Marcin Gortat, his dad was a successful light heavyweight boxer in Poland, so clearly you see where the toughness comes from. And Marcin's mom was on the Polish national team in volleyball, so you know where the blocking and ball skills come from. I guess we'd have to call him a chip off the old blocks.
.139 left in the fourth quarter. Gasol kicks to Lee. Back to Gasol. Here's Randolph. Rebound, Washington.
Boy, he really bungled that finish.
Outside Wall. Looking to get it going. Perfect on the shot. Swishes it through. Wall's got it back down to single digits for Washington.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
Carter dishes to Gasol. Carter against Dudley. Conley the pass to Carter. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Wall. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. That gives him the double-double. 10 points and 10 assists. Conley into the lane. Carter against Dudley. Carter kicks to Gasol. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
Yeah, he imposed his will on the defense that time. He was not going to be denied right there.
Some changes for Memphis. Green, he's checked in for Carter, and Allen subbed in for Courtney Lee.
And that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will bury them for sure.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. They're losing by 10. 32 seconds left to play here in the fourth. What do you think, guys?
And look, this one's out of reach. I don't know what they're thinking with this timeout.
Neither do I. I mean, maybe they're going over their plans for after the game. Who knows? But let's just get out of here.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Wright, he's checked in for Gasol. Barnes comes in for Zach Randolph. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley.
Well, how about John Wall in this one? He's got 10 points and 10 assists also. I tell you what, he's made his mark on this game in so many ways, guys.
And he would have stood out just on the strength of the defense. But how about offensively? He's been clicking there as well.
And so he makes both from the line. And it's the Grizzlies with the ball. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. It's Barnes sliding it down.
Terrific run to seal the deal.
Yeah, and now let's just keep an eye on how much longer they keep the foot on the accelerator.
Washington calls timeout. They're behind by 10. 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one.
Ramon Sessions.
23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Temple. And that's a foul called on Chris Humphries. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Fourth team foul.
Udrich dishes to Barnes. Allen outside. Latre. And that one's good.
And they feel good about this win tonight, guys, defending their home court.
I agree. Job well done. They gave these fans exactly what they wanted.
So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, Clark, made the difference.
Well, you know, at this stage, you've got to defend your home floor, and they did that.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Mike, you guys really turned it around in the second half. Tell us what changed.
We just started playing basketball again. I told the guys at halftime that we can't just turn it on and off. We got to be able to use the pedal to the metal, and guys came out defensively focused, and guys making the double extra plays to get defensive stops.
Mike, thank you. Kevin, it's usually about those second and third efforts.
All right, Doris, great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. And now we'll head over to the studio with Ernie Johnson.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time now to present our Jordan Player of the Game. Marc Gasol, he had an outstanding third quarter. Whatever they needed in terms of energy and offense, he was the firepower that propelled them during the second half. Kenny, what did you like about his game?
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
Well, his ability to get into the paint and get to the rim was deadly. For a guy who's mainly a perimeter shooter, it was remarkable how many of his points came right at the bucket.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Have a good evening.
I want you to know that it's our time. You and me bleed the same light. I want you to know that I'm all yours. You and me are on the same course. I'm slipping down a chain reaction.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson, and it is my pleasure to be with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the Chicago Bulls up against the Memphis Grizzlies. And for Memphis, they come into this game having won 3 straight, looking to make it 4. We'll see if they can get it done. And let's talk for a moment about Derrick Rose. He's missed so much time the past several seasons with injuries. Kenny, is it too much to expect him to return to his former level, his MVP level?
Well, maybe not the MVP level, but he still can be a serviceable all-star, meaning he might not be able to dominate for 82 games, but he could do it for 40. and then he could do it for playoff time. So I do think the knee surgeries took a little toll on him, as they would any player, but I still think he has a lot left in the tank.
He might be able to get back to his MVP level, but that's going to take a full season. A full season of injury-free play to get that confidence back. Full season, Ernie, 82 games.
That does it for us. Kevin Harlan with the call, and we will see you later on.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday, hump day, and we're ready to bring you all the action. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. We are in the Windy City, Chicago, United Center to be exact, home of the Bulls. And, of course, Taj Gibson will need someone to fill his role.
Well, as fans, as teammates, there are a lot of people that I'm sure are sad to see him go, given all he brings to the table. But I like what the trade does for him, and I bet it helps him right off the bat. I mean, it also is going to help him long term.
Well, we'll see, because you don't make a change this drastic without having a period of adjustment. So you may be right. We'll see how long it takes and whether this new look roster can gel.
And the starting group for the Grizzlies. A lot of defense with Conley and Lee in the backcourt. Green is the 3 with Zebo at the 4. And it's Gasol and at the pivot spot manning the middle. Clark, thinking back to when Mike Conley was drafted 4th back in the 2007 draft, 4th overall. He wasn't an instant star, but he has gotten better every season.
Yeah, it took him a little while. I mean, he was only a freshman coming out of college back in 2007. A slow start. He had to fight for minutes, grind away. The Grizzlies kept trying to get his replacement, it appeared. But he stayed the course, and now he's their franchise point guard.
Butler with the steal. Outside Rose. From 12 feet out. And he hits the jump shot. Rose has got his second bucket tonight.
Wow, risky shot there size-wise, but the incredible skill that he possesses allows that one to go.
Well, the quick high release negated any height disadvantage he had right there. His eyes just simply light up when he gets that close to the bucket. And you just know what he's going to do with the basketball.
Butler dishes the Rose. Rejected by Randolph. But they get it back to the paint. A second chance effort. And no problem from Rose as he finishes at the rim. Rose has got 6.
3 of 4 to start. Young fella came to play.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Fred Hoiberg. What'd you find out, DB?
He brought up Marc Gasol, a kind of sleeper player he thinks could give them trouble. Coach said he's a guy 7 foot plus. He's very skilled, can shoot and finish over either shoulder, and he doesn't shy away from contact. He's a guy you have to really pay attention to. And I've told our guys, we can't let him have a big game. Fellas, we'll see how they do against him.
And thanks for that story, Doris.
In a league that's becoming more and more pick and roll oriented, Zach Randolph is more of a throwback, if you will. I mean, he likes to back his man down and battle for those offensive rebounds.
And the second free throw, good. Oh, I love the power forward. Zach Randolph always seems to carve out space, the space he needs to play well.
Yeah, he's unorthodox but extremely gifted. A nice blend of physicality with high skill level, especially when you talk about shooting the ball.
Chicago on defense. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have.
Rejected by Randolph. And now here comes Conley leading the break. Here's Green, and he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we can see right there why he does.
Rose attacking inside Gasol. Offensive rebound. Rejected by Gasol. And it's Memphis on the break. The 11-footer. Green, no luck. Bulls trail by 3. Outside Rose. The feed to Gasol. Goes up the baseline. Again, the miss by Gasol. For Memphis, they've gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Here's Green. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim.
You know, Dave Yeager, the coach for the Grizzlies, has really become a big-name coach quite quickly. You know, he's worked his way up the Memphis coaching ladder and has had a ton of success early on in his career.
Here's Dunleavy. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Here's Noah. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Conley kicks to Gasol. Out to Lee. And there's 1:45 left here in the first quarter. Shot clock at 5. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Lee's got his first points in this one.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
And guys, Courtney Lee, not the most flamboyant offensive threat, but he's a steady player at both ends of the floor. Makes threes at a high clip and competes defensively. One of those guys that you don't necessarily win because of, but you sure will win with.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Portis, he's checked in for Noah. Mirotic comes in for Dunleavy. Tony Snell's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And it's Brooks in for Derrick Rose. Here's Portis. His last outing, he had 8 points. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
That's his first personal foul.
And Courtney Lee out of Western Kentucky. Not usually a hotbed of NBA talent, but, you know, Clarkie's having a nice career.
He really is. I mean, playing big minutes for the Grizzlies, Kevin, and they really need his floor spacing and his hard-nosed, versatile defensive ability.
Free throw good, Portis. Last season, Memphis fell late and would end up with the 5th seed in the NBA playoffs. Only one of 2 teams to make the playoffs each of the last 5 seasons, along with the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, and they were a team that nobody wanted to play. Memphis drew Portland in that first round, and even though they were the 5th seed, they had home court advantage.
Now here's Conley. He had 13 points in the win against Washington. The drive by Randolph. Back to Conley. Allen outside. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Here's Gasol. No good.
You know, guys, Memphis walks through the first round against Portland. The second round, a lot tougher against Golden State. They went up 2-1 in that series, but couldn't hold on to that lead.
Good.
Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
Allen passes to Barnes. 41 seconds left to play here in the first. Can't hit from the low block.
And guys, Memphis would lose 2 of their 3 games at home against Golden State. So things got tough with the Conley injury and missing Tony Allen as well. But they did put up a good fight, ultimately, though, falling in 6 games to the Warriors.
Gasol, no good.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Allen dishes to Conley. From deep. That's good. Conley's got his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. Memphis out in front, leading by 4. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And Pau Gasol, after some great years and some difficult years, talks about now his newfound excitement playing with the Chicago Bulls. I think you'd have to say that Gasol's decision to go to Chicago, Clark, was great. He clearly gave it a lot of thought. It's hard to imagine him having made a better pick.
You know, I agree. Not only is he happy, but so are his teammates, Ask Rose and Noah and Butler. Those guys love playing with him, and you can see how the change of scenery rejuvenated the big Spaniard, too.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And taking a look at the Grizzlies' performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
And we've really seen them get out and establish a real nice rhythm offensively in this game.
Yeah, and they're finding ways to score multiple ways, playing well and sharing the ball, just operating good at the offensive end.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So for Chicago right now, Mirotic out there with Noah, and it's Rose, then there's Jimmy Butler, and it's Brooks in at the 2 spot. And for those younger folks who might not be familiar, go online and look at some old clips of Vince Carter. In his prime, Clark, one of the great dunkers the league has ever seen.
And for my money, the greatest game dunk in pro basketball history belongs to him. With Team USA back in 2000, jumped over a 7-2 center and punched it on it. Hard to top that.
Here's Rose. It's rebounded by Memphis. They defeated the Wizards in their last game.
They just weren't challenged. I mean, nearly as much as they should have been in that game, at least when they had the ball.
Yeah, it was a mismatch. I mean, the defense from the start was on its heels practically the entire game.
With some arc, Carter pulls it in.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Lee with the ball. Butler covering. Lee kicks to Carter. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Boy, he is such a ridiculous dunker.
High riser, no doubt about it.
Goodness, I mean, you've come to expect plays like that from him, and folks, that never gets old.
And the shot is good. The Grizzly lead has been cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Butler.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
And ladies check in for Brooks.
There we go. That was your Lovables. Give him a hand. Come on, Chicago.
We're closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second quarter. Udrich, the pass to Lee. Wright dishes to Lee. And Udrich kicks to Wright. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Noah's got 4 rebounds in this game.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer, was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Well, Greg, for Hoiberg, it's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clark, he came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will.
Good on both. Derrick Rose has certainly piled up the awards for such a young player, starting with Rookie of the Year, with 111 first-place votes to only 5 for the runner-up. We know about his MVP, and that just shines out so brightly for him.
And how about he and Michael Jordan, the only MVPs in Chicago Bulls history?
Made that one only his 4th of this game after firing 10 times from the floor.
And when he breaks out the crossover, you can be sure he's going to leave somebody in his way.
And Green slams it in.
And I love the fact that he didn't have to slow down or adjust there. The pass was just timed perfectly.
Bulls trail by 3.
You know, looking back to Rose's MVP award, his stats were on another planet that year. He was only the third player to record 2,000 points and 600 assists in a single season since 1973. The other two, LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
The Bulls have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Mirotic, the screen. Rose kicks it to Noah. Good work defensively by Carter.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
You know, in talking about D-Rose, I don't think the individual awards mean much to him. He's about trying to help his team win championships. And that's the kind of mindset he has to continue to display.
Kicks it to Noah. Back to Rose. Good, and a nice assist from Noah. And that's 12 points for Derrick Rose.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
Carter, the pass to Wright. The shot misses. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
And stolen by Wright. Lee goes in. Green dishes to Carter. Right against Mirotic, and it's blocked by Mirotic.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
Now here's Butler. He's covered closely, and that one's drained from the low block. Butler's got 4 points now in the quarter. 1:21 left to play here in the half. Lee kicks to Green. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way. So Green will go to the line. It's on Jimmy Butler. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Pau Gasol's checked in for Noah. Portis comes in for Mirotic. Johnny Snell's checked in for Mike Dunleavy. And Brooks subbed in for Rose. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Marc Gasol is checked in for Wright. Randolph comes in for Vince Carter. Allen's checked in for Courtney Lee. And Mike Conley subbed in for Udrich. To the middle, here's Gasol. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
A nice shot by Gasol.
Boy, after struggling in the first quarter, he's come alive here in the second.
The Grizzlies shooting 36% in the second quarter. They really haven't found their rhythm yet offensively here. Conley against Brooks. Stolen. Shoots the three. That is good. And now a three-point Bulls lead.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Conley kicks to Randolph. Gasol wide open. He fires. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Gasol's got his second basket of the night. Brooks up on top. 17 points for him last game against Philadelphia. The floater, no good at the rim.
And fancy finishes like that look great, but man, it's embarrassing when you blow them.
And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. Bulls lead by 1. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. They never dug too deep a hole for themselves in the first period. The most they trailed by was 5. Some great work in the second quarter as they fought hard and were able to make up the difference and then some, now leading by 1. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
They're playing with a sense of urgency, even though they're at home. Sometimes you feel so comfortable on your home court, the other team can jump on you. But they know these fans have their back, and now they're well positioned to build a lead in the second half.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Grizzlies.
See, Ernie, this is what I'm talking about. You know, I was the king of this. See, you got to pound that ball in the paint, and they were doing that. I like to see more of the same in the second half. Don't start shooting jumpers now.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. Gotta like what Derrick Rose has done in this game.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about the truly greats of our game is that sometimes you get spoiled because of how consistent they can be. And so far, another big scoring night for him.
And oftentimes when he puts up that many points in the first half, he follows it up with an even better second half. We'll see if that's the case here.
So on the 4 for Memphis. Green is the 3 with Zebo at the 4. A lot of defense with Conley and Lee in the backcourt. And it's Gasol at the center position.
With Joakim Noah, I mean, you know exactly what he's going to give you every season. Rebounding, block shots, steals a few points, relentless energy and enthusiasm, and even a few assists as well.
Rose can't hit.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
And you know they'll be conscious of him next time they take it inside, too. I mean, that's what really good defenders do. They make you think about their presence.
He feeds it to Dunley. It's rebounded by Memphis. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season.
And you have to love it when there's a matchup like this. Two teams that are at the top of their respective conferences going at it.
Well, you know, they split their meetings last season, and the way both of these teams love to compete, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened again.
And Marc Gasol surprisingly nimble for a 7-footer. He really moves his feet well at both ends of the floor.
And when you look at Marc Gasol now versus when he came into the league, remarkable how that body of his Clark has transformed.
Kevin, he changed his diet and he dropped a bunch of weight. Believe it or not, he even grows vegetables at his house. He's really gone all in on the transformation of his body.
Clark, good information.
Yes, sir. That's what we do. That's what we do here. Whew. Info and entertainment.
Matt Barnes is checked in for the Grizzlies.
Well, as far as the league's big men go, he's one of the very best at the foul line.
Rose, and he gets it to go. Rose has got 14 points.
Terrific effort on that shot. I mean, he's given up a lot of inches in that mismatch.
Well, height, who cares about height? I mean, it's just a number. Hey, you got to go with what you got. And he took what he had right at him there.
And there's Joakim Noah on the assist by Rose. 6 points for Joakim Noah. This game has a lot of character here in the third period.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I love seeing this type of action. A competitive, compelling matchup. A lot of lead changes here so far.
Yeah, 6 already. Intensity is the theme for this one. Oh, how about the floater there? Nice drop.
Chicago calls timeout. And to nobody's surprise, Zach Randolph enjoyed an outstanding season Clark in 14-15.
And, you know, ironically, by taking more of a backseat to front court make Marc Gasol, Randolph played better, the best rebound rate of his career.
Chicago making a switch here. Mirotic is checked in, and Memphis also making a switch. Carter's checked in. There's a good screen. Mirotic with it, and it's Carter picking him up. And Butler gets it to go.
And for the Grizzlies, they had to be encouraged by Randolph's play after signing him to that extension. I mean, he'd been set back by the knee injury, but he came back in a big way.
Passes it to Gasol. And it's Gasol with the rebound.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for them.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Rose attacking.
Over the last month, let's take a look at the Grizzlies and how they stacked up in the league statistically. first in field goal percentage, first in three-point shooting, and they're also number 1 in free throw shooting. A team that makes foul shots gives itself and its coaching staff a lot of confidence.
You said it all right there. The hottest shooting team in the league. And that tells you not only are they shooting it well, but they're also focused on creating terrific opportunities for one another.
Shooting two. Shooting two.
That free throw missing.
They've been ineffective in disrupting Rose's game. He has 14 points and 1 assist.
Good on the second free throw. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Conley kicks to Barnes. Gasol against Gasol. Miričić grabs the miss. For Chicago, they've gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. And there's the call on Matt Barnes. That's his first foul.
And those are the kinds of mistakes that are magnified when we're talking about a game down the stretch.
Chicago making some changes. Portis, he's checked in for Dunleavy. Tony Snell comes in for Butler. And it's Brooks in for Derrick Rose. Brooks with it. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. A nice shot by Gasol.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies.
And injuries, once again, were a central theme of the Bulls' season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot.
Conley's shot is off. Chicago leading by 4. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing.
And, guys, we call that the zone because that's where they are right now. They are in a zone, and I'm sure they feel unstoppable.
Gasol a screen. The drive by Brooks. A wide open look for Gasol. It's rebounded by Memphis. Randolph's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Rejected by Gasol. Brooks outside. There's the pick. Pass to Portis. Poked loose. Stolen by Randolph. To the paint. They need this one. And it's Barnes slamming it down.
And, guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And, guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That is a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt.
Very well done that time. Found the best look possible.
Brooks, the pass to Miričić. Back to Brooks. Gasol a screen. Brooks kicks to Snell. No good on the 3.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
Brooks kicks to Miričić. Here's Gasol. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet. Gasol's got 12 points in the game.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
Randolph in the post. And Gasol sends it back.
Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity.
Well, they ought to be. I mean, that's basic basketball time management. You've got to be aware of your clock and your situation.
And how about that one-man fast break?
I love the power finish at the end of it, too.
Brooks up on top, covered by Conley. And Brooks, here we go. Gasol's got room. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. He's got 14.
They're earning their points with the jump shot now.
And that's right, Clark. 6 of their last 10 have come from the mid-range.
Barnes dishes to Gasol. Finds the open look, and it's on target. Gasol's got 4 points now in the quarter. From deep, Aaron Brooks, and that's good. And the Bulls lead by 3.
Talk about confidence to pull up from out there. And what skill to knock it down. That's major league there, folks.
Yeah, no doubt about his toes on that one. He was way back.
Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. Chicago with the ball. 3-point lead. Other teams with Dunleavy on the perimeter. Mirotic out there with Noah. And it's Rose in at the point guard position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
You know, the right thing there to try to fade away with the D all over him, but that is a difficult shot to sink.
It's stolen by Rose. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. 4-on-3 break. The shot by Butler, nobody around. And it's off from 3-point range. Green kicks to Allen, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
Some hang time on that rim puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
And also the other on its heels. Let's see how this one turns out.
A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. Lee outside. Jacks up a 3. That's good, and it's Udrih with the assist that time.
The defenders need to recognize and be alert to staying on him as we get into crunch time.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
Well, I tell you, the Grizzlies guys were really dominant in the first half of the season last year, but after the All-Star break, barely played above 500.
And Memphis would end up going 16-13 over the back half of last season. Down the stretch, they would only go 5 up and 5 down in the final 10.
Yeah, and Kevin, all those games so important as they jockeyed for position in the West. It was so fluid and volatile down the stretch. They could have been anywhere from a 2nd seed to a 6th on any given day, and they just happened to slump at the wrong time.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Chicago's coach was going over with his team. And with the game still very much in play, he sounded very confident, telling the players, don't let up. This is where we make our move. Right now. Go take it. Kevin?
Lee passes to Wright. It's stolen by Dunleavy. And now Rose running the floor all by himself. That's good. And it's a 6-point Chicago lead. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Bulls.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they've forced and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
Feeds it to Dunleavy. Mirotic against Wright with the fadeaway. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Allen dishes to Wright. Lee against Rose. Lee kicks to Gasol. Tries it from 9. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
And tired legs affect you at the defensive end first, and that's what we're seeing here.
You called it, Greg. As much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
Lee gets the bucket.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
I mean, he makes plays like that in his sleep. The game is just far too easy.
Timeout called the Grizzlies. Zach Randolph's checked in for the Grizzlies. Conley now comes in for Lee. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Conley, the pass to Randolph. And that one falls, coming off Conley's feet. And 11 points for Zach Randolph. The Bulls have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Outside Rose. That is good.
And he's coming up big here in the clutch.
Composed under pressure, and he's now 4 for 4 here in the fourth.
Green dishes to Randolph. Count that one.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
Rose goes in and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. They get Marc Gasol. Well, he holds the reins to this team, and we're seeing some examples, guys.
And that's the kind of take-charge leadership that every team desperately needs.
The first free throw is good. Pau Gasol is checked in for Chicago. And Rose drops them both.
Guys, that was critical. I mean, that's what we're used to seeing out of him, though, at moments like this.
The Grizzlies trail by 4.
2 minutes.
Green kicks to Randolph. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
.156 left in the fourth quarter. Rose goes in, and the layup's good off the glass. Rose has got 27 points.
I guess you don't change what's working, and he's been magical out there.
Yeah, perfect from the floor here in this fourth quarter.
And stolen by Butler. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. Rose with the ball, and it's Butler missing. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Here's Allen. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. And the second of 2 is good. That narrows the lead down to just 3.
By missing one of those, that leaves them needing a 3 to tie it up. Not the ideal situation.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. They're up by 3. 1:32 left in the fourth quarter of this one. 1:32 left here in the fourth quarter. Gasol a screen. Rose passes to Butler. Now the dish to Gasol. Bulls moving the ball around. 3 on the clock. The three. But they recover it. Rejected by Gasol. Allen dishes to Green. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Really good work on the interior. That is a critical 2 points there. That was an ideal scenario really for him. Point-blank range and also a size advantage.
Rose attacking. And it's Memphis on the break. Here's Conley to take the lead. Can't hit. Now Chicago takes it the other way. I think we'll see them burn the clock a bit here.
I think that's probably a smart move.
I think so, too. Lets a floater go. Nails it.
I tell you what, this is the white-hot version of Derrick Rose right now.
What a big possession right here.
No doubt about it, guys. The tension is palpable.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Conley inside the line. It's good. And what a sensational bucket to bring them within one.
Just look at what Conley is doing.
And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game out.
Exactly. I mean, got to stop the clock any way possible and hope they alligator arm a few of those free throws.
He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2. And so he drops them both. It's a 3-point game.
Big-time free throws there. That could be the difference. It forces them now into a 3-point attempt.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're behind by 3. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Seconds left in the fourth quarter. Allen kicks to Green. Good! And that was an enormous three-pointer.
That was massive.
You know it. He's stepping right into the spotlight there.
Chicago calls timeout. The score is tied at 69. There's 14 seconds left in the game. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth. Rose against Conley. Rose goes in. Oh, off target. Nobody near Allen. Oh, it's off the mark. And we're going to overtime. Time expires, and we're going to overtime. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. Well, if you love great competition and neck-and-neck basketball action, this one has been a great one. Overtime number 1. Getting going right now. So Memphis will get the first possession. And away we go here with post-regulation basketball. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. Taking a look at the Grizzlies. Handoff is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. On the wings, it's Lee and Green. And it's Conley in the point guard. Rose passes to Gasol. And it's Rose penetrating.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
Derrick Rose at the line for the Bulls. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Rose. So he gets them both.
He's certainly been hitting well from the line, and those points do add up.
Memphis has gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Gasol dishes to Conley. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Courtney Lee is on the wing, defended by Dunleavy. Here's Gasol. There's the killer two-handed slam.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Rose kicks it to Noah. Outside Rose. 11 feet away. Good work defensively by Conley. Memphis leading. Over in the corner, Green from deep. That's in there. Conley with the assist. 17 points for Jeff Green.
And such a steady hand. I mean, he's one of those guys that's really allowed them to take the lead.
Well, he's just so reliable and dependable and consistent, especially here today. I mean, his shooting percentage is off the charts.
Chicago calls timeout. They trail by 5. 1:51 left to play in the first overtime. It's extra time here, just over a minute into overtime. Here's Rose. Makes it off the glass. Rose has got 35 in the game.
Heads up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
And the Grizzlies leading by 3. Lee outside. He dishes it to Gasol. Back to Lee. It's tipped. In overtime here, a minute and a half off the clock. Rose goes in. The shot is off. Great D that time from Green. And now here's Lee. The fast break opportunity. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
What a game we've seen here for Green. He has 17 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
And maybe it's time for them to set a few more screens for him up top and let him add to that total.
He hits the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 5-point game.
And he steps up and knocks them down, making it a 2-possession game.
Outside Rose. Pass to Buck. This one for 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. 51 seconds left in overtime. Conley kicks to Lee. Gasol setting the pick for Lee. Here's Randolph, and Gasol sends it back, and he gets it back. Lee goes in, clock at 6, and Gasol gets it to go.
And really, I like the fact that even with the big lead, they never coasted.
To me, that's a sign of a really good team, Greg, because you should always be playing against the game and yourself. I know there's an opponent out there, but when you have a lead, it's all about continuing to execute. Do what you do and stay true to that. And I like that aggressiveness and full speed ahead kind of attack that they have.
Three-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Allen. And again, Memphis no good.
This definitely wasn't the way they envisioned overtime working out.
McDermott can't get it to go.
That would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Yeah, look at the coach's face and the expression. It says all over it. Are you kidding me?
So it's Memphis picking up the win. They had to scrape and claw to push it to overtime, but they really came on in the extra period.
Yeah, when adversity was at its greatest, they came up big. They seemed to relax a little bit once we got into overtime.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, Mark, it certainly seemed like you guys came out early on with a mindset to seize control of this game. Was that your plan?
Yes, and we started out that way, and that was limped away a little bit. But, we're learning, we're getting better, and just a process.
Thank you for the time, sir. Guys, back to you.
Doris, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching. Now it's time to head back to the studio with Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Zach Randolph.
His accuracy from the field was pretty eye-catching. I mean, if he was shooting the ball, it was going in. You rarely see a performance like this with this crazy high shooting percentage. Wow.
He was a monster on the inside for them. His strength and his size came into play so much tonight. And to go along with his physicality, he had a sweet touch around the basket.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Have a good evening.
And they stay there.